Hey guys, thanks for watching. Today's tutorial is a video on this look right here. It's also a how-to on how to create natural looking coverage. And a lot of times when we have acne, facial scarring, dark spots, any kind of blemishes, we think that we need to cover up our entire skin with thick foundation. But really the best way to create a flawless looking complexion that's also natural is to use a very light layer of foundation, just enough to even out your skin tone, and then use a very powerful pigmented concealer to target the areas that really you want to target. I do recommend liquid and cream products. They mimic the texture of skin a little bit better than powder products. Using a setting spray like MAC Fix Plus after you're finished will help the powder products settle on your skin in a more natural looking way. With this method, you'll be able to look great in photos and on video, but also really natural when you're up close and in person. Okay, so I've already moisturized my skin. Make sure you moisturize even if you're oily because it just helps your makeup lay on nicer. I've also primed my skin. Today I used my Becca Backlight priming filter. This primer is new to me, but it gave my skin a really nice luminous finish. We're going to go in with foundation. Today I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in warm nude. I got this when I was a little bit darker than I am now, so I'm mixing it in with my Revlon Color Stay foundation in ivory to create the perfect match for my skin right now. So I'm just taking a tiny amount, and this part, you want to, when you look at your face, you really want to just look at what kind of redness or discoloration you have. This step isn't to cover all your blemishes. It's really just to create a little bit of color evenness. So don't try and cover everything at this point. You can even use a BB cream or a CC cream, something with lighter coverage, maybe something nourishing to the skin that looks really natural. And if you have a really high coverage foundation, you could try mixing in a drop of facial oil, whether it be coconut oil or maracuja oil. That could make your foundation, your base makeup go on a little bit nicer and less opaque. So I'm just putting a little bit where I have some red blotchiness, leaving a lot of my skin that isn't that problematic untouched. And I'm taking my Up and Up complexion brush and I'm patting that in. This is really key to getting natural looking makeup, is putting not very much foundation on, only as much as you need. And really it's just to reduce redness, it's not to cover blemishes. Okay, now that we've got our foundation, we can go on to concealing. Now this is the part where you really want to take your time and look at your face and decide what parts do you really need concealer and what parts, you know, don't actually need it. So what I'm doing is I have a little bit of darkness under my eyes, and I'm taking Benefit Erase Paste in Fair, which is a salmon colored concealer, and I'm just putting it I'm only color correcting in the areas that I need it. I'm not putting it anywhere else that doesn't have discoloration. Only in these little corners in here and a little bit up into this darkness right here. Okay, so I used a small concealer brush. This one is from MAC. The letters are rubbed off, but because I've had this for years. But I'm now taking my Sephora Airbrush concealer brush, and I'm just blending it in. For some people, you might have some darkness around your mouth or on other parts of the face, and you can go in and color correct those areas. So if you have bluish marks on your face, use orange. If you have greenish marks, use something a little more red. But make sure it's within the how light and dark your natural skin is. So if you're very, very fair, use a light salmon, whereas if you're very dark, use a more opaque, darker version of salmon, more like a true orange or red. I have this lovely color correcting concealer palette from NYX. This is great for somebody who has a lot of blemishes because you've got all the colors that you need in here to color correct. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this green shade and cover up some of the redness that I have. At this point, you really want to take your time and find all the little blemishes that you have and only cover those spots. By doing this, you're creating the illusion that what you have on is either minimal or you don't have anything on. So because you're leaving a lot of your natural skin through, you're allowing your face to look natural, to look real, and you're just pinpointing the areas that you might need some help. This method is really great for people with acne especially. So it might take you some time when you first start to try this method, but the more you practice, the faster you'll get. Okay, now that we've color corrected, if you still have some blemishes that kind of stick out, you can go in with a concealer that's a perfect match to your skin tone. Something very pigmented, maybe in pot form. There's one by MAC that's really good. This one by Laura Mercier. It's the Secret Camouflage Concealer. These ones are very pigmented, kind of a dry concealer. They really cover up your spots. This is what I'm going to use today. It comes with a yellow and a salmon color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of the more yellowy one. It matches my skin tone pretty well. And I'm just going to cover up whatever is left after having color corrected. So the next thing we're going to do is set our under eye concealer. Today I'm using my e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder, and this is a really great inexpensive setting powder. I'm taking this tulip shaped brush. It's actually a paintbrush, but I use it for makeup. And I'm taking just a little bit of powder and going in under my eyes to make sure it doesn't crease throughout the day. And then I'm going to wait to set the rest of my concealer until after I put it on my other cream products. I'm going to go ahead and use my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. I'm sorry, I don't have a cheaper alternative for a cream contour product. I'll look into that and see if I can find something. But I'm taking a dual fiber brush and going in with the darker shade. And I'm just sort of swirling into the product, and I'm gonna go ahead and contour. This step is absolutely optional. Okay, now I'm gonna take this cream blush by ColourPop called Prenup, and I'm just gonna use that same dual fiber brush and swirl it in there and put a little bit on my cheeks. And now we're going to go in with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette, and we're going to take the Tulip brush that we used to set our under eye concealer, and we're going to take the shade called Dim Light and put that over the areas where you concealed. A very, very finely milled powder like this, like the Hourglass ones, are perfect for days where you want to look super natural because it doesn't look very obvious on the skin. Now I'm taking that middle shade and putting a little bit on the tops of my cheekbones. I take my Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer and just take a little bit on my fingers. Taking the Too Faced Natural Matte palette, and I'm taking the shade Heaven, which is the lightest shade, on a fluffy Morphe brush, the M330, and I'm running that everywhere from my lash line to my brows. The shade Nudie, which is this shade right here, on that same fluffy brush, and I'm running that through my crease. I'm taking a smaller Real Techniques brush, the shading brush. I'm taking the shade called Sexpresso, and I'm running that in the outer corner. And then I'm taking the shade Strapless and running it underneath the lashes. I'm taking that fluffy brush again and blending it all out. Taking my Becca Afterglow palette, and I'm going to take this first shade here, Moonstone, and dab in the inner corners. The third shade, Topaz, and just put a tiny bit in the middle of my eyes. I'm going to do my brows with my NYX Micro Brow Pencil in taupe. I'm going to set my brows using the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper. I love this stuff. I don't think it holds my brows as well as my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, but this one gives each brow a little bit more fullness, and it looks pretty natural. Milani Supreme Kohl Kajal eyeliner, and I'm gonna line above my upper lash line in the outer third. Now I'm gonna tightline. I'm going to take that Real Techniques brush and smudge out that liner. And then I'm going to apply a little bit of my Roller Lash Mascara by Benefit, and I'll be right back. For lips, we're going to use Too Faced Melted Lipstick in Melted Fig. It's a beautiful plummy color. I love it. Okay, now what we're going to do is take a little bit of Max Fix Plus and spray that all over our face. This helps to take away any powderiness we might still have from our setting powder from earlier. This is the final look. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this one, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Ow. Ow. Hello!